happens every few years, an old letter turns up in the mail, delivered late. Really late. In 2009, Britain's Royal Mail delivered a love letter sent during World War II to a military base 64 years after it was written. 3 letters addressed to a New York woman in 1969, including 2 birthday cards, spent 45 years missing before they wound up in her old mailbox in 2014. And a postcard mailed in France in 1877 finally arrived after taking 138 years to travel all of 6 miles. The letter we wonder about is also presumed lost. It's the one written by Volkswagen's U.S. outpost, begging the Germans for more crossover models, post haste. We're guessing it was mailed sometime in 2008. Shortly after VW introduced the small and expensive Tiggan and found American buyers not as enthusiastic about it as we were. Or maybe it wasn't dispatched until 2012, when Tig sales began to grow coincident with a midlife cycle refresh and the post-recession fervor for any and every new crossover, even the Buick Encore. But surely this letter was sent, just as surely as it could not have been received. For here we are with the 2017 model year in full swing, and Wolfsburg continues to take its sweet time with the crossovers. Indeed, the second-generation Tiggan is still months away, likely as a 2018 model, and so is VW's long-awaited 2018 Atlas 3-row midsizer. For now, we get the 2017 Golf Alltrack, which is just an all-wheel drive Golf Sport Wagen with a bit of a lift, some gratuitous cladding, and a name, if not an exact spelling, purloined from Toyota's past. Without a hike in the seating position or a raised roof, the Alltrack feels not even a little like a crossover. The lift amounts to just 1.4 inches, most of it coming from taller wheels and tires, though VW says the Alltrack does have longer springs and dampers. Its selectable off-road drive mode, one of 4, normal, sport, custom, and off-road, engages hill descent control and futzes with the throttle and transmission calibrations, yet it's meant mostly for bouncing along 2 tracks, which we did. And yes, we could appreciate the Alltrack's higher tolerance for rutted roads, commensurate with its increased ground clearance. What we didn't feel, thankfully, was any other significant difference from any other regular Golf. The light and accurate steering, the excellent body control, and the way the car flows from one curve to the next all survived this crossover occasion just fine. The same is true for the clean styling, solid build quality, and tasteful interior, none of which were changed in any fashion deserving further comment. Our test vehicle weighed 3,497 pounds, 260 more than the last front-drive sport wagon to cross our scales. But the additional mass made little difference at the test track. Launch control and the extra set of drive wheels helped the Alltrack nip the standard sport wagon by 0.3 of a second in the 0 to 60 mph sprint, at 7.5 seconds, though we measured both cars at 15.9 through the quarter mile. Slightly wider rubber helped the Alltrack pull a respectable 0.84 grams on the skid pad, beating the Sport Wagon's 0.82. The braking performance was worse than the Sport Wagon's by 6 feet, with the Alltrack stopping in 172 feet from 70 miles per hour. Fuel economy is about the only other measurable area in which the Alltrack comes up short, with our observed mileage of just 25 miles per gallon trailing the 26 we achieved in the last front-drive Sport Wagon we tested. VW compensated for the diminished fuel economy by increasing the tank size in the Alltrack by 1.3 gallons. Of more importance is an upgraded powertrain, which marries the base Golf's 1.8-liter turbocharged 4 with the Golf R's driveline. That means the Alltrack gets Volkswagen's 6-speed dual-clutch automatic instead of a conventional automatic transmission. While this DSG is no longer the groundbreaking transmission it was in 2003, it still provides more consistent shifting and delivers a sportier character than a conventional automatic. As in the R, an electronically controlled clutch manages the front-to-rear torque split. The computer can apply the brakes individually to direct torque to the left or right side wheels on either axle. But even with this hardware, the Alltrack doesn't drive much like the Golf R thanks to a 122 horsepower deficit. Ultimately, Volkswagen is not targeting those looking for a less speedy rally wagon, but it's hoping its Alltrack might convince some of the legions of Subaru buyers to forget about Dieselgate and visit their local VW dealership. There, they will find not only the Alltrack, but also a Golf Sport Wagen with newly available all-wheel drive. That one can be had only in lower trim levels, thereby preserving the pricier territory for the Alltrack. While the Alltrack starts at just $26,670, that's for a 6-speed manual version, which will not be here until early 2017. Our loaded tester, on the other hand, totaled $35,705, which seems like quite a lot of money for a car offering only 170 horsepower. Yet it comes with every manner of driver assistance feature and VW's new infotainment system, complete with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support, necessities to chase mainstream crossover shoppers. If they fall for this Alltrack ruse, they'll actually be getting an outstanding car, the only serious fault being its single USB port. We imagine Volkswagen USA is dropping that letter to Germany in the mailbox presently.